Hello, dear friends. A warm welcome to you once again. This is Dr. Ruma Smart Joseph, teacher educator from Isabella Thoburn College, Lucknow, and I'm very glad to conduct this 5 day session on blended learning as an instructional pedagogy. For the last 2 days, we have discussed about what was advantages and disadvantages in traditional classroom teaching. We also talked about e-learning when we do it all alone in isolated manner, and in blended manner when we make it an integral part of our traditional classroom teaching. So we have seen what is blended learning, why we blend, and I would like to apologize for yesterday's class. We were not able to conduct any class yesterday because of some technical problems, but I hope that we have a smooth class today. So it's really nice to have you all here for this special session, those who are about to join and those who will see the recording. It's always nice to start the class in time, and I feel that as attendees come, we can repeat the things, but the class should be started in time, because this is one of the very important characteristic of a teacher, that a class should take place in time. Well, I will be talking about blended learning today, the models of blended learning, approaches to blended learning. Just a revision, because I have talked about approaches of blended learning, but I would like to go through a quick revision of this. We have three approaches to blended learning here, as you can see. One is classroom-centered approach, blended learning as an eclectic learning approach, and blended learning as a transformative design approach. So I just would go through this. Classroom-centered approach, we know that in this approach, the online things or online activities takes place along with the traditional classroom teaching. It is the teacher of the class who decides everything. Online learning or online web resources can be used as audiovisual aids, or just to assist what is there in traditional classroom teaching learning. Maybe it is simply a PowerPoint preparation, use of videos, or navigation through web using interactive websites, clocksters, having special lectures through Skype, or having special interaction through online classes in a traditional classroom. So the approach is basically classroom centers. Activities that are associated with online learning takes place in the classroom. We secondly have this blended learning as an eclectic learning approach. Here we see that eclectic approach is something where we have number of modalities. We have various devices and methods: finding books, materials, organizing field trips, movies, and assigning projects to fulfill learning objectives. So blended learning is also an eclectic approach, because here learning takes place in the classroom, learning takes place online, and learning also takes place independently. Student learns in the classroom. Classroom learning includes uses of modern technology, both hardware and software, along with the integration of meaningful and purposeful online learning. And then we have online learning, that is that teachers suggest web resources to students. Students also take some pain to browse through various websites or animations or clocksters, various social sites. Teachers and students can use along with their classroom learning, and everything is to achieve the objective of learning. The particular content which is being taught in the class is supported by the online resources. And then we have independent learning also. The teachers ideas or teachers decisions are not binding on the student, but student learn online. He is free to navigate through web. He's free to find out useful websites, or whatever web resources are there. He is free to collaborate with other learners and teachers across the globe, and it works amazingly. So blended learning is also used as an eclectic approach. Now we come to the third approach, that is known as transformative design approach. Now blended learning, as we know, has emerged as a modern method and a futuristic learning pedagogy, and it best suits the need of learners in this techno age. It has a, I always believe, has a great potential to transform the entire classroom of education, not only traditional classroom teaching, but in the field of distance education also. It is creating waves, and it can do, beyond what is thought about it so far. So the canvas of education has altogether changed by this concept of blended learning, engages students in more meaningful and purposeful activities. And we can say that it is transforming the entire educational scenario and has lots of scope to bring a complete revolution in the field of primary, secondary, and higher education. If we talk about at a primary level, teachers are doing also, and it can be done in various other ways, that teachers can use music, animations, videos, puzzles, interactions, online activities in the class that can fill the toddler's life with new interest and new enthusiasm, you see. So this is very important, that how innovatively teacher blends online activities with that of traditional manner of learning. In secondary education also, there is a huge scope for teachers to color the canvas of education. And here I always suggest teachers to prepare their own technology integrated lesson plans, math plan, which I will definitely talk about. Tomorrow being the last day, I will talk about the technology integrated or smart lesson plan, which very smoothly works online, and I have developed it. I found it so useful, and I would like to share that with you. So it is there. And in higher education also, higher education has always been blamed of lecture methods, that students are not taking interest in the classrooms. There is a huge number of dropouts, and students, the classrooms are empty, no one in the classroom. This will definitely happen because in traditional classroom teaching, there are so many flaws and disadvantages which lacks to hold students interest, and can really fill them with new enthusiasm to learn. But with this concept of blended learning, teachers have so many other options also. Along with their lecture room, they can meet with their students online, they can build a new, a very strong rapport with their students offline, and then they can bring them in traditional classroom. In traditional classroom, they can talk about the exciting and enthusiastic learning activities online, and this will definitely bring them together. It will also give them one-to-one learning time, that they may concentrate, and there will be a feeling of belongingness. So learning will definitely have a new concept. So higher education also, it is equally important. So it was a little about the approaches of blended learning, and now I will take you to the other slide, which talks about the models of learning. What are the various models? And when we talk about the models of learning, we have three important models here: supplemental, replacement model, and emporium model. uh, let us talk about the supplemental model first of all. Supplemental model, as the name itself makes it very clear, that it supplements the classroom teaching. It retains the basic structure of a traditional course and uses technology resources to supplement traditional lectures and textbooks. Now, the supplemental model for blended learning incorporates technology into the instructional approach of the course but does not alter its basic structure. Students may be required to complete online reading or activities or participate in lab sessions. However, there is no reduction in the time. Whatever time the traditional classroom has, it will have the same time. No, there is no reduction in the classroom time, but technology supplements the classroom activities. So it's a important model to start with, because right now we are not ready for any other model. Teachers can make their own models also, but they will all come under supplemental models, because we have to integrate online resources, web resources, along with our traditional classroom timing. We won't have reduced time in the classroom, because whatever we are doing right now is because of our own efforts. Like I do online sessions with my students along with the traditional classroom. I have to give extra time for it. It's not like that the classroom timings are reduced or our college timings are reduced. No, along with that, I have to make extra efforts to integrate these online courses, resources which I want to use with my classroom, and I do it in according to that. Although I have made my own module to do so, but it is an example of a supplemental model only. Now there is replacement model also, which many colleges, universities across the globe are following, which are already practicing blended learning. That replacement model reduces the number of in class meeting, classroom. Half of the things happen in classroom, half of the learning or whatever extent of learning is set by the classroom teachers, fixed by the classroom teacher, takes place in classroom teaching, and the rest online. So there is reduced timing of a traditional classroom, whereas we add the online activities along with the traditional activities. So this is a replacement model. This is a basic difference also of supplemental and replacement model. Then we have Emporium model. Now Emporium model eliminates all class meetings and replaces them with a learning resource center. No, its resource center, maybe it's a big computer lab. So Emporium model can also be followed, but right now for us it is too early to adapt any sort of such model, and I hope that this only will do good for us. Now this was something about the models. I would like to show you the diagram. Here, you can see this is a traditional classroom where we use traditional instructions and technology-rich instruction. Now, traditional instructions and technology-rich instructions are all the methods, whether it is a lecture method, demonstration, illustration, demo come illustration, narration, whatever it may be, use of various devices, various audiovisual devices which we have been using so far, and the teaching usually takes place with the lesson planning. Teacher plans a lesson, whether it is a cognitive planning or a written plan. We plan a lesson and we use it in a classroom. Now the second option is that of the online learning, where we have informal online learning and full-time online learning. Now here in informal online learning, we just suggest students to go through the various web resources, or as a teacher we also organize various learning this thing matter for them, online classes, or we get connected through social sites or blogsters, whatever it is. So it is not learning that is taking place formally or as an integral part of our college system, but it is an informal online learning. Then there is a full-time learning, also full-time online learning. This full-time online learning is e-learning. So we don't talk about full-time online learning because we talk about the blend, where we have a synchronization or a balance of the two, traditional classroom teaching and e-learning, which I think is the best pedagogy in this digital age. which will bring the best of both the worlds. And we have the models: rotation model, flex model, self-blend model, and enriched virtual model. Under the rotation model, we have station rotation model, lab rotation model, flipped classroom model, and individual rotation model. We will see what these models are one by one, and just little about this. When we talk about rotation model, it is a program in which within a given course or subject, students rotate on a fixed schedule or at the teacher's discretion between learning modalities, and out of these learning modalities, one has to be an online learning. Other modalities might include activities such as small group or full class instruction, group projects, individual tutoring, or just the traditional assignments we give to our students in the class. Now, when we talk about rotation model, we have the station rotation. Station rotation model implementation in which within a given course or subject, students have a fixed schedule, which I'm already talking about, and that is teacher's discretion among classroom-based learning activities, and some activities are online learning. So online learning is also one of the different stations which teacher use for teaching in a classroom. Now there is a lab rotation. A lab rotation model is where in which within a given course or subject, students rotate on a fixed schedule, no, in a traditional school campus, and at least one is a learning lab for which I think is predominantly a computer lab where online learning takes place. So this is the lab rotation model differs from the station rotation model because students rotate among locations on the campus instead of staying in one classroom for blended learning course or subject. They keep on rotating to different locations. Now we also know about flipped classroom. Under this model there is a flipped classroom, and rotation in this flipped classroom, students who are merely doing homework, practice, or online, the flipped classroom model accords with the idea that blended learning includes some element of student control over time, place, path, pace, because the model allows students to choose the location where they receive content and instruction online. Now, individual rotation is also there. In individual rotation, the students rotate on, you can say, an individually customized fixed schedule among learning modalities, and at least one of them is a online learning. So it is just that the station rotation model is that there is rotation among learning modalities, and along one of these modality is of course an online learning model. Then we have Flix model also. It's a program in which content and instructions are delivered primarily by the internet. Students move on an individually customized flu schedule among learning modalities, and the teacher of record is on site. The teacher of record or other adults provide face-to-face support on a flexible and adaptive as needed basis through activities such as small group instruction, group projects, and individual tutoring, etc. Some Flix models may have face-to-face certified teachers who supplement the online learning on a daily basis, whereas others may provide little face-to-face enrichment. So this may be there. Then there is a self-blend model. It describes a scenario in which students choose to take one or more courses entirely online to supplement their traditional courses. For example, they have some special course in English, then they go to the websites which teach that content very well, have some interactive activities, there are videos regarding this, so students use those websites, those courses online, half of the courses online, half the course in the traditional classroom, and student may take the online courses either in the classroom or online. So there is a provision, there is a choice in the classrooms now in the days to come. These colleges will have the same option whether student wants to attend the classes for that particular lecture, or that lecture can be seen online. So this also will come self under self blend model. It is all for students convenience, learners comfort, because the things are changing now. It's such a busy age, and individual has lot to do, and we believe in lifelong learning. So even if we are in the job, or we are unable to join traditional classroom, we are not deprived. The learner is not deprived of what happened in the classroom, but he can always choose that particular course online and can learn according to his own pace, with the instructor's instructions available online also. Then we have enriched virtual model. This is a whole class school experience in which within each course students divide their time between attending a traditional campus and learning remotely using online delivery of content and instruction. So many enriched virtual programs began as full time online schools and then developed blended programs to provide students with a traditional classroom experience. Yes, this happened because it is only, I believe, that the blend which can help a lot. Traditional classroom teaching alone in this age, as well as e-learning, cannot retain our learners, because the needs and requirements of our learners today have definitely changed, and we have to keep pace with all that so that learning takes place effectively. Now we go to the other slide here. So this was all about the approaches of blended learning. You have seen this, the flex model we talked about, self-blend model, enriched model, and we saw that these models are according to they are developed according to the that particular college requirement or the resources available. But I believe that whatever learning modules or blended modules we develop, a teacher can develop his module himself, and it is the teacher that can best do justice with this, because accepting somebody else's model may not always be useful. What I am doing with my students in a blended manner program may not work for you. Maybe you have more resources than me or less than me. So it is only on teacher's discretion what sort of module or blended module teacher wants to use with her students. Now, I was also wanting to talk to you about my modules for blended learning. But before that, I would like to go through one more slide, which says that how to choose a right model. Choosing the right blended learning model. Now, as I've been experimenting with my students, I found some of the very important things which I would like to share with you here. That how one can choose a right blended learning model. First of all, defining blended learning to the students. Now, this becomes very important because when I started with my students, nobody was knowing about the concept, what actually blended learning is. So it is very essential for a teacher to sit with her students, with a group of learners he is going to implement blended learning program, and to talk about the activities that will occur in the classroom and online. Students should have a clear concept of what online learning is, what is e-learning, what is the concept, how it is going to help in their traditional classroom learning, and why blended learning. Once all these things are very clear to the learners, I feel that they learn with more enthusiasm, and they are excited also to know what newness will be there in their traditional learning. Then we have appropriate training of the learners. That is also very important, that learners should be trained appropriately. I do the recordings, I do the program, and I then share the recordings. The purpose is that many of the students for which I'm having these sessions do not know to come in the class. So just now I am having no learners in my school because our batch has not started, but as soon as the batch start, I invite my learners to attend the class, and I train them first of all in the class how to come online, how to launch an online session, what is the software they require to download in order to make this classroom work. So these are the things which many teachers are not comfortable with, and this is the irony of the entire education system. So I just am making a small effort to do this, so that when I share these recordings and people see these later on, they can at least know the concept of online learning, which should be integrated along with the classroom learning. This can help a teacher in a very great manner. So it is very important, either the learners or the teachers or teacher educators, all of us today need to be trained for online learning, how to make their learners learn online, themselves also how they can learn online, what are the rich web resources. This is also very important, because uh, without this, and no program can succeed. No blended program can succeed, and this is one of the reasons why many online programs are also not very successful, because there is a lack of techno skills among the mass, which has have to have it. Otherwise, people belonging to other professions are very good and smart at it. But I have seen, and whatever research I have conducted, I have found that the teachers are not very comfortable with techno skills. We need to upgrade ourselves and need to learn. So, as a teacher, we need to train our learners first for blended programs, and then we can have smooth learning online along with the traditional classroom. Then there is deciding the time and activities. This is also very important. The full fledged program should be there, a clear cut program where we have what kind of contents we will discuss online, what time we need to promote also our online classes, and we need to decide about the time and activities that will take place online and that will take place traditionally. Many colleges, in my college also, like in the classroom, many times I'm not able to go through the PowerPoint presentations or the video or the use of smartboard, because there is dearth of time. We have to complete the syllabus in time, but whatever I miss in the classroom, I make it a point that those things, the videos, interactions, or the conversation on any topic through social sites takes place. My students write their blogs, we get connected through blogs or other web resources all 24 hours. And for this, we train our students, we decide the activities, we decide times, and that helps our program to run smoothly. Then selection of online resources. This is also very important. There are a number of resources. Technology integration doesn't mean that without thinking about the resources and their use for our teaching, we integrate whatever we want. But the important thing is that we have to select out of so many web resources available. Maybe somewhere Google Books do, somewhere online articles do, somewhere clocksters can help us, videos can help us, somewhere Skype can invite a lecturer from across the globe, or or somewhere there are other interactive online classes like this, somewhere there is some other web resource. So it has to be, find out by the instructor what all online resources instructor wants to integrate in her blended learning program. And by doing this, we can have a very purposeful blended learning model for our students. Now, I would like to go through the learning module which I was wanting to show you. Here, this is a learning module, and with my students, I used it, the blended learning module which I made. I would like to share this with you. You can see it here. I think this will be readable for you, a legible article here. Now this is a blended learning model. Now, so see how I have used the blend, what we taught in the classroom learning, what all we had in the classroom learning, methods and devices we use in classroom learning, and online activities, online learning, we decided over here, which were implemented by the use of technology integrated lesson plan, which we talk about tomorrow. So this was a technology integrated lesson plan, and then we had a blend of what we have in a traditional classroom, what we had in an online classroom. So there was a blend. We used various audios, videos, synchronous and asynchronous resources, the various web resources, and this is how the module worked in a very efficient model. I have talked about this in the previous sessions also, and this was there for the blended learning. So today I was just wanting to talk about this, and I was wanting to share the screen also. Sometimes it is not possible to share the screen, so let me see if we can share the screen. Here I would like to show you the video which we had yesterday, and I will show you the video. There is some problem in sharing. So I would just like to invite you for tomorrow's classroom, and tomorrow we will discuss about technology integrated lesson plan. Here a technology integrated lesson plan works on the principle of Bloom's taxonomy, and I would like to show it to you here. If I have one, I would go to my library and add technology integrated lesson plan which I have made. Here I have one, and this is on Helen Keller. You can see it here. This is about Helen Keller, and my smart plan can help generate and create awareness among masses about the problem of prime importance, such as creating awareness about pollution and its a consequence on mankind, sensitizing students about the fact that their survival depends on the ecological balance of the planet, that the pollution can result into destruction of the entire universe, and their feelings, emotions, and the whole attitude can be changed by the rich audiovisual web resources, along with the training of mental faculties. This I have taken from my blog write-up to show that how the smart plan can um, help you obtain the objective set and their affective domain, can enhance students emotions, can control students emotions, thinking, attitude, etc., which otherwise is very important because we usually emphasize on the knowledge domain also. So this was the plan, smart plan, which I made on Helen Keller, and this can be seen in my blog also. I would just show you this, and it will be for tomorrow. I'm not going to do this today. So this is a lesson plan which we will do tomorrow. I was just giving you the idea that the technology integrated plan which I developed uh, has a dual purpose. First of all, it can facilitate teaching in traditional classroom and online as well. So teacher need not make different plans online and different plan for the class, but the same plan will work amazingly in traditional classroom and online. And then second important thing was that while making this plan, the teachers who are not that techno savvy also can develop skills, techno skills, as you can see here in this column. So making a single teaching point, teacher can develop many skills here. Teaching point, teacher's activity, student's activity, and skills involved in practice. So I would like to discuss this with you tomorrow, and for today I think this will do. And I hope that when you come and visit this recording, you find it of your use. Don't forget to miss the class tomorrow. If you cannot make up today, you can do it tomorrow, and you can join this class. If you want to contact me, you can use my email addresses, which I type in romasmart at ymail.com and romasmart17 at gmail.com. And you can also get connected by Skype name roma.smart1. Roma.smart1 is my Skype name. So it is here. I will also give you my blog address. Just a minute, and I type in my blog address for you. It's here, the blog. This is a blog which I have had for my friends and my learners, and I give this to you so you can go through and you can see that how smart plan works here, because I have used various web resources in making a smart plan. So if a student is not able to see what happened in the class, he can at least have a view of the teaching or the what is taught in the classroom with the help of this technology integrated lesson plan, and can go himself at his own pace. Here I give you my blog address. So this is my address. I'll give this to you, just a minute. Okay, so here comes my blog address. I have to browse for it to go to the site, blogger site, and then here I copy this down, the URL, and I give it to you. It's here. So those who cannot see this in the recording can, I will read this for you, that it is Roma Smart Joseph dot blogspot dot in. Roma Smart Joseph blogspot in. You can use my blog and you can get back to me anytime. Now here I have one of the attendee. I just welcome you. It's blended learning. Well, may I know your name, please? Can you type in your details here? We have already done the class, and you can later on go through the recording, but I would ask you to type in. It's so nice that you are blended learning itself, and it's so nice to have you here. Maybe we share with you, and I would like to interact with you. It's our pleasure. It's so nice. You have just joined. May I know your name, please? Please share your name and country with me. Oh, it's Elias. So kind of you, and it's so nice, Elias, to interact with you. The class started at 6 o'clock. We are having the session for 35 to 45 minutes, and the time is already up. I have gone through various things. You can later on check the recording, but I would like to interact. Tomorrow, we will be discussing about the technology integrated lesson plan, which will be used in blended learning program in the classroom also, and the same lesson plan can be used in the classroom and in traditional manner also, online and in the class. So teacher need not prepare different class, and you will see that how amazingly this plan works. I hope to see you tomorrow, and before I leave, I would like to interact with you. If you don't mind, I would like to give controls to you. Please accept the control. There will come a pop up in your whiteboard area. You have to accept that control, and I would like to interact with you. The controls are there. I'm giving you the control. Accept the control so that we may interact, and it's nice to see you. Well, you haven't accepted the control. Once again, I'm giving you the control. You see that a pop-up will be there in your white screen, and you can accept the control so that we may hear from you. If you find any difficulty in accepting the control, please type in and let me know. You can express your views by typing what you think about blended learning and how the presentation has helped you. Although you have joined a little late, maybe you would have missed the presentation, but you can always type in your views, and it would be lovely if you would type in. So it's nice, it's lovely to have you here for the program, and I believe that we will meet tomorrow again.